Hi everybody, just gonna give everybody a few minutes to get on. Happy New Year. Glad to get this going again for this year. If you have comments, please post. We'll give people a few minutes to come on. If anybody can not hear me, please put that in the comments. Maybe wait one more minute. See, we got a couple people on here. Welcome, Robert. Yeah, thank you for the comment. We're going to show a few more new things here. We're just going to go ahead and get started. Hi, I'm Arnold Volker. Happy New Year. Glad to have you guys on here. We're going to show off some new products today, and we're going to be pressing a few things. So if you have any questions, definitely put them in the comments. We're really excited about last year ending and starting a new year, so that's kind of cool. And if you have questions while these are going on, please go ahead. Hi, Tanya. So we're going to start with one new thing that we're offering this year is garden markers, or these could be pet memorial markers or lots of different things. We had them in the past. We do have some digital downloads on these. So today we're going to show you how to press peppers. It's actually a pepper marker. So there is some digital downloads you can do on that. And then we do have a larger memorial marker that we're going to be doing. This can be used for pet memorials and things. And it does have a relief here, so it can be bent at a 45. So they're both meant to be stuck in the ground. First thing, just kind of be a little bit repetitive. We're going to talk about just the press here for a second. We have a Geonite press. First thing you want to have is a 1/4 inch Nomax pad. That's additional from the pad that it also comes with. Then we're going to put down some craft paper. And then what we do is we lay down our part. Get this out of my hands. And we lay down our part. Excuse me, in this case it's two-sided, so we're going to lay down the paper and line up the part and then put the paper over it. Another new thing that we're pressing today is going to be, those of you who maybe seen these, they came out right at the end of the year. These are Hitch receiver caps. Again, we'll be getting some artwork up. A few different designs that we've done is the American flag. We've done some fish ones, things like that. So we're going to press this at the same time. Usually it's nice to try to fill up your press as much as you can. And so again, we'll put the paper down first and then the part. It's just a little quicker that way when it's easier to line things up. And then we're going to put down craft paper. And we're going to get that going at 400 degrees for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And basically a medium pressure. And I'm just making sure everybody can hear me okay. One thing I wanted to talk about is our new catalog for Next Innovations. So we have our own line of products. So if you're not a wholesaler and you'd like to be a wholesale customer for Next Innovation, so these are parts and stuff that are already dye sublimated on. So please, if you are interested in that, I'll put my email in there. You can email me if you're interested in wholesale. So minimum order for wholesale is 300, and reorders are $150. But you basically have to have a tax ID number and that kind of fun stuff. And some of you I know sell additional things besides you know, your own products, so you could sell some of ours if you have a storefront, things like that. And then also in there is my phone number. So we're going to press these as we're waiting for that. You know, definitely check out our new catalog. That is in a digital downloads, and also might give you some ideas of things that you can, designs and things that you can make. And then it's always fun if you want to give us ideas on what digital downloads that you'd like to see that you can purchase. We do have some free ones out there for wind spinners, so that's definitely something you should check out. Another new thing that we came out with right at the end of last year is basically an artist blank, or it's made for a photo. So you can put a photo in here. It's a 4x6. Here's an example. So it's vertical or horizontal. So here's just one that we created. The cool thing about our stuff is it's extremely vibrant. So we do have display stands. Here's another one back here. And we got about 1:25 left. What types of printers, if anybody wants to post in there, or any questions that they might have. And if you haven't seen our catalog for Cottage Blanks, that's also going to be available to download for a digital download. Lots of different things in there, from garden stakes to wind spinners. So it gives you some, you know, ideas of different shapes and stuff that you can do. Does come off pretty hot, so I'm going to get my gloves ready. We're also going to do wind spinners next. And a lot of times these shapes and things come from suggestions that you guys make as things that you want. So if you have ideas for shapes that you wish that you would see, so for example, last year we came out with a 8-inch wind spinner, which was actually two-tone. That was something this group wanted. That's out there now. I'm going to be excited to see what you guys come up with for the receiver cap hitches. Well, we're going to peel this out, see what this looks like. First thing I'm going to show you is the garden marker. So that's really hot. And then on the back, on the digital downloads, we have where you can write in there, but you could do anything you want with your own designs. But these are just ones that we're going to make available. So for people that do a lot of gardening. So that's a brand new thing that we're releasing. Again, if you check your paper, you'll know if you have the right amount of pressure and the right amount of time, because you really shouldn't see any ink coming left on the paper. Here's a receiver hitch, and again, you should be able to peel this right off. I left that one on there a little bit purposely just to show you that if you do get a paper stick, just peel it off. If it does stick, use Windex, but that just came right off. So paper sticks do happen once in a while, but it's all about time and pressure. So this is really cool. I'm going to show you how to bend this one. You do want to bend this when it's hot. I think these are in packs of 6, so really a fun gift item or promotional. So you're going to bend this up and down, and then this part is back up. So this is the part that goes into the vehicle. Same thing, we're going to bend this down and around. And so you want these approximately at a 90 that are going to go back into the vehicle. But yeah, just a really fun item to add. I don't have anything right now to press, but just kind of reiterate, we have 2 sizes of markers. This one's a little larger right now. We're having funeral homes, things like that, that are purchasing these for temporary markers, could be pet markers. You could do two-sided. So these will be in packs of 6 also. I'm going to throw another thing on the press here. Let's see. Thinking of spring again, just for hanging your garden tools. We got a 3-hook, basically a garden tool holder, and we're going to lay the paper down first, then the part. And this kind of is in two-sided and just a little piece of it. I'm going to get this kind of laid out here. Lay back down our piece of paper. I think I must have come unplugged. Little technical difficulties here. Okay, we're gonna get that plugged back in. Sorry about that. Get that. I was trying to get the press a little bit closer. It's always kind of a double-edged sword. I want you to see the press, but also see my full face. Here's some other examples of the artist blanks. There's some just kind of a full image. Just the vibrancy is amazing. How the clarity that you get with dye sublimation. Scallops is another thing that we're doing really well with, so definitely try them out. Something that's two-sided. You could put seasonal type things on there, so as wall art, just take it, hang it on the wall, flip it over. Informational things for your kids, clean their rooms, things like that. And metal is magnetic, so it's always fun to put stuff on there, as far as you could stick magnet and hold paper. Any comments or any feeling about the garden markers? Any ideas of what other things that you could use these for? So just a small little marker that sticks in the ground. Definitely post that in the comments, because we do go back and look at these. As we're waiting for that, there's a tool that we provide with the 3-hook benders, and that comes with the purchase, and we'll show you how to use that here in just a second. But we painted it yellow because it's easier to find. Got some Santa Claus ones in the back there. I should probably change that up so we're kind of in the right season. Another thing we'll talk about maybe while we're waiting here is wind spinners. I think right now we're probably up to 8 different sizes. So we have a 3-inch, which is kind of advertised as an ornament. So we have a 3-inch, a 6-inch, an 8-inch, which is two-tone, and an 8-inch in white. Then we have a 10-inch, which is our definitely most popular. And then we have a 16-inch, a 24-inch, and now we just added a 36-inch. So that's really cool. That's how we got our start, was wind spinners. So that's definitely something that I'm excited about, that we have multiple sizes. And that's mainly because of your feedback and trying to get our wind spinners still getting more activity. Wind spinners are two-sided, so there are some free templates out there for wind spinners. We have obviously larger printers, so we're going to print this in one piece. If you don't have that, you can tape it up here, print 2 pieces and tape it together. should be just about done, and we're going to use our little bender here to kind of show you how this works. And remember, these are hot, so it's always good to have gloves on. And we're going to peel that off. Definitely very, very vibrant, so that's really cool with that sparrow on there. I'm going to set this aside just for a second and throw a couple wind spinners on here. Again, two-sided, so you want to get your part on there. That's the wrong size print. So I got a 10-inch part. I'm going to put that on there. And I think we're going to also maybe press, make sure you're not hanging off the edges. I'm going to press an 8-inch. Maybe one of these newer designs that we have. And just always kind of scoot it over, make sure you're not hanging off the edge. Sometimes I get in a hurry and I'm trying to do things too fast, and then I'll have the part hanging off. You can have them overlap, just don't let the metal overlap. The paper can overlap. And then we'll get this going right away. That'll be some wind spinners. Grab my gloves again. And we're going to take this garden tool hanger. So the cool thing about these 3 hooks is you can use your imagination what you're going to hang on them. And we're just going to put this hook through there. And remember, we die subbed on both sides. So this back side now is going to become the front side, as confusing as that sounds. And we just slide this in there and bend it over. And same thing, so you're going to do each one individually. Slide it in, bend it. You want to do this when it's hot just because powder coating has a high flexural strength, but it's better when it's warm. It just bends easier without cracking. Sometimes you know, they might need a little bit of tweaking depending on how you hold it. But that's kind of that, give you the 3D kind of look. And the cool thing is depending on how you do your graphic on the templates, you know, your image can line up. But if you didn't want to be that complicated, you definitely can just have these as a solid color. So that's kind of a cool thing there that's out there. A few things just laying around as we're waiting for the press. Dragonflies are always an old goodie out there. These fit on your smaller presses. Our press is 16 by 20. But if you look at that, how vibrant that is. And then we do have relief cuts and stuff, so you can do some bending. You can shape it. Let's talk about the brackets on a lot of our products. They come with a bracket on the back. We're going to bend that out at a 90 and then right around into a kind of a C or a U. And that's our dragonflies. So you could put lots of different pretty colors on there of those. I know we've been selling a lot of the wind spinner display stands. If you haven't, they come with a really good instructional on how to assemble them. They are really good. You really need a good way to display your stuff for people to purchase it. That's cool that you're out doing some photography for the racks. I can't wait for you guys to share some of the stuff that you're doing, so that's really cool. Any feedback on the caps, the receiver hitch caps? hear some positive, negative, if you guys think there's much of a market for that. And then also the markers. Corey, I believe, has them up now, so you can download some designs, and then the packs are out there of those. And usually while I'm waiting for the press, we might be folding prints, things like that, so it's a good time to take advantage of figuring out what you're pressing next. But it does go fairly quick. We'll lift this up. Again, remember it's hot. And this time we did 2 wind spinners. And this one we're really excited about. It's kind of a garden party look. So that's really cool. Well, actually it's really hot, but it's it looks really neat. Then we'll grab this other one off from there. And that's just amazingly vibrant. Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to see how the markers look. And then I think, Erica, if you could put that in the codes. Today, our discount code is basically January 2022, and that gives you a 10% discount if you're over $200, and it has to be purchased in January. So I'll put that in the comments. January 2022 is your 10% off code. And I don't know if anybody has any questions. Please post it in there. Yeah, thank you, Erica. You beat me. Otherwise, if there's no other questions, that's going to be it for today. I appreciate you guys joining us. Definitely go out to our website if you haven't seen it. Cottage Blanks. I think today I was thinking about we're going to post maybe some things out here of how we powder coat, how we do our grinding. That might be something fun. So if there's anything that you guys want to see, or if you have questions on, definitely reach out to us. Definitely show your feedback, on the different types of markers. I think that's something very generic that people can use in a lot of different applications. And a Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us, and you guys have a wonderful day.